So here we are at Cerakote Nation, and where the hell are we?
Lovely Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia. Georgia peaches.
The air's thick.
So we've been getting a lot of requests for story time.
Okay.
More story time.
Everybody loves a story.
Yeah. So me and Dom worked together at CIA for a number of years, and so came up with a story for you that actually happened in a land far away. There we were, and knee deep in grenades and firing pins, or brass
ammo, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what is it?
it was over there. No
Knee
brass,
deep
no
in-
ammo. I don't know, something like that.
Whatever. We're knee deep
in
the-
bullshit
the
stories.
shit. Yeah. So so what was like? It's fucking Sunday or something, right?
Yeah, it was a really chill
And-
day. It started off that way, at least.
Like nothing going on. There was like one thing for the entire day, and it was a bullshit like milk run.
Milk run. Yeah.
And so it was me and this other guy. We'll just call him
EBT card.
EBT card.
EBT
Call
card.
sign
That's
is-
close to that.
was very similar to that. But yeah, me and EBT card have got to take somebody to, I don't even remember where the hell we're taking them. There was like
It was
three
not
guys
far.
in the back.
Yeah.
So we pull out of the compound and we're driving along. We hit a checkpoint, you know, and like when you're over there, you never really know if these checkpoints are real or if it's Al Qaeda or Taliban or nowadays ISIS, you know, and they set up like a fake checkpoint. But anyway, so you're always prepared, you know, like it could be a bullshit checkpoint, it could be a real one. And, you know, so we stop, and I was, you know, whatever you want to call it, team lead or whatever I can't even remember what the hell we call it.
Riding
Team
shotgun.
lead, riding shotgun. I was in charge of the op, which was a milk run. And so we stop at the checkpoint, you know, and we start showing them all our fucking credentials. Oh, you know, nothing's working. And, you know, there was like, we're surrounded by like these guys like fanned out, you know, and we're surrounded by like, I don't know, 12, 15 guys maybe. And what's the driver's job?
To make sure the doors stay locked.
Make sure the fucking doors are locked, because he's the only one with the controls, right? So, you know, I still remember like the signal to make sure the fucking doors are locked.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy, you know, Middle Eastern descent, tries to open my door while I'm going through placards and, you know, doing all this other shit, and the fucking door opens. And I'm like, holy shit, you know, the door opens, and I immediately just, like, the door opens and I fucking kick him. You know, I'm like fucking kicking him in the chest. Well, he kind of flings back and he draws his fucking gun out. You know what I mean? It starts coming out, and I could have smoke checked his ass, but I didn't, you know, for a damn good reason. I was able to shut the door. And, you know, I shut the door. I'm like trying to hold it shut. I'm like, fucking EBT guard, lock the fucking door. Lock the fucking door.
Push button.
It's like literally like going back and forth like this. And finally he unfucks himself, locks the door. And, you know, when I was kicking him in the chest and in the face and you know what I mean, everywhere else, trying to get him back so that I could fucking close the door, you know, he fucking my shoe fell off. Whatever. My fucking shoe fell off. And so I get the door shut, whatever. Finally, we fucking lock it. You know, we're in an armored vehicle, and this fucking guy throws a temper tantrum. Who wound up being what? Was like a colonel or some shit? A colonel for the
friendly foreign nation.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Whatever you want to call
friendly
it.
Foreign nation.
So he throws a fucking temper tantrum, takes my shoe and like shows it to me in the window, and like throws it like a fucking football out into this field. And I'm like, oh great, now here I am surrounded by, 15 guys with one fucking shoe. EBT card who's
Still pushing the button.
yeah, still trying to figure out how to lock the fucking doors. And a handful of guys that were taken somewhere that are shitting their pants because, you know, they'd probably never even been in a fist fight before. And so anyways, this guy fucking tosses my shoe. I'm on the phone I'm on the radio calling NQRF because we're like literally surrounded, you know, at gunpoint, RPGs, fucking Dishkas, you know, Dishkas is like it's a big gun that'll rip through just about anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm on the radio with QRF, and who's my QRF? This guy. So I'm like, hey, you know, blah blah blah. This is whatever team, you know. We need some fucking QRF like now. And you know, you were there like in no time, but in between the call and, you know, communicating with you, this fucking general like throws a shit fit. And you know, like when you're pissed off and you know, like if you're hitting a brick wall, you kind of like slow the punch down a little bit so you don't break your wrist. Well, he thought that the exterior of the car was up armored, you know, because like the new ones, you know. Well, this happened to be like the old model, probably from like pre-2000 era, where it's like a regular car window and then inside is like the box of armor, you know.
So there's a gap.
So he does the whole slow down, like tries to punch with his gun drawn, by the way, through the window, breaks through the window by accident, gets his hand all fucking bloody, his pistol's got blood all over the place. He's now embarrassed, and that's like right about the time you show up, you know. And I remember you getting out of the car, you know, you and the rest of the guys are getting out of the car, all, you know, guns slung, ready to go. And, you know, I mean, we had guys that could not be seen, you know what I mean? So we had to get the hell out of there, you know, for their sake, because that is, you know, that was our thing. And I just remember like you getting out and like the look on your face, you were so pissed because I ripped you away from your precious breakfast. And yeah, so you take it from there.
Okay, well, before I do, let's do a word from our sponsor. We're here at Cerakote Nation.
Oh, are you serious?
In
right
Macon,
now?
Georgia.
Dude, come on.
Well, we're, instead of, you know, fighting
all right.
in
Let's
supposedly friendly foreign nations, we're cooking brats, cooking chicken, cooking
We've been here all week with Cerakote Nation. Let's finish the story, dude.
Okay. So there I was, knee deep in fork and knife.
Yeah, right?
Had a custom-made omelet. It was looking good. I was ready to sit down and eat it. Had caught up on a bunch of admin bullshit, which was my life at that time.
You were pretty good at that.
I was good. I was good at admin. But I get this call on the radio, and it's Shawn. And he's like, hey, we're at the checkpoint. And he tells me where, and I'm like, that's like right around the corner. And we are surrounded. I need help like now. Dude's got his gun out. Roger that. I give the code over the radio, and it's nothing but assholes and elbows. Everybody's freaking running in different directions. I had a guy that was working, I was actually working under him technically there, even though I was the experienced guy. He was placed in a position because...
Oh yeah, the new guy in charge.
New guy in charge.
New guy in charge, because
Good
that
guy.
makes a lot of sense.
Well, he's a good guy, you know, and honestly, you know, to his benefit, he was like, listen, dude, I realize you've been doing this for like 8 years, and I just started, so I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I was like, cool. And then we had a dude who started off calling himself Rambo until I literally told him, you can't call yourself Rambo, jackass. So we started calling him the Magic Man instead, just to be funny. So anyways, we're hauling ass, and I'm waving goodbye to my omelet, my breakfast, and we get in a vehicle, talking on the radio, coordinating with the guys that do the perimeter security, who are like, holy shit, the balloon went up, we're gonna get to shoot somebody. They were fucking pumped, man. So we go racing out the front and get to you and lickety split. We stop. I see as I'm coming around like a turn, you're parked there. They got you kind of blocked in, and there's dudes everywhere. I'm like, in my mind, a lot of things are happening very fast. And we're moving kind of fast, too, because it's like, okay, we got to get the heat off of them, bring it on us if necessary, get them the fuck out of here so that the people that they're escorting can go somewhere safe, because this isn't. And I see amongst all these, again, allegedly friendly foreign nationals, this fucking red shoe just sitting out in the desert. And
That
I'm
was
like,
mine.
Why
That was
Shawn?
mine.
Isn't that Shawn wears red? Anyways, back to why are all these people
I
doing
have been
this
known to
thing
take my clothes off.
at unusual times and
Yeah,
in strange
I know.
locations. So, so we pull up, and the idea is we pull up close enough to them to provide support, but far enough away so that we can open all the doors on armored vehicles and they don't hit each other, so we can actually use them for cover in a worst case scenario. So I've got two guys with me. I'm in the driver's position, got a guy in the shotgun position, got a guy in the back seat.
Could that thing be any fucking louder?
That is Macon, Georgia. Hey. Anyways,
I
okay.
hope he hits a checkpoint.
He's about to find a checkpoint.
Yeah.
But I doubt there's going to be an unfriendly local national colonel there. So
With 15 cronies.
we pop out. Dudes are everywhere. And this dude, who I quickly realize is the agitator, he didn't have his gun out at the time. So I didn't see any of that shit with the gun. I just knew that something was going on. I saw the hole in the window with the blood around it, and I was like, trying to piece this together as I'm seeing your shoe, which is throwing me off. And we stop, we pop out, and I've got everything on and can really do anything I needed to at that time, but I'm unsure of what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
So I see this guy, again, he's obviously the agitator, but he's also, I recognize all that shit on his shoulder. It's like, okay, this guy is a high-ranking officer, and he's upset about something, and he's calling his people over, even though most of them are unarmed. I also see on the wall behind him, which was us, our guys have reinforced that wall, and they got big machine guns and shit, just ready to make it rain. And I'm like, okay, we don't want that to happen. So I decide, instead of to come out guns up, because these are supposed to be friendlies, to just low ready and hey, what's going on? And he comes over agitated, mad, and I just, guns kind of off to the right. I'm like, I got this if I need it, but I'm pretty good at calming people down just by talking to them, even if they don't speak English. And I was like, hey, it's okay, no problem, calm down, what's wrong? You know, and the guy comes over and he's just livid and he's doing hand and arm signals and I don't understand a word he's saying because it's in a foreign language. And then he turns to me and he does like this thing with his fingers and he's kind of close to me and I'm like, hey, calm down, because now I'm starting to get a little concerned about his proximity. And he goes, bam, and he hits me right here. And I immediately, that little switch that we all have, went click.
Yep.
Because apparently I was told by others that the expression on my face changed and I was growling. Don't really know why, but I know it's because I wanted with my bare hands. Because I do remember thinking, put down your gun and just in front of all of his friends. And then I saw the dude behind him that he was apparently riding with turn ashen gray when he saw that man reach out and hit me on the side of the throat. And I also noticed the dudes on the wall with the machine guns, because I could see them pretty clearly, they got this look of surprise and then they cinched down on their guns and I could see it in my mind. They were going to fucking from safe to full auto because there's no semi on those guns.
No.
And I was like, okay, if I do anything aggressive towards this guy, I think we're gonna have bodies everywhere and we could be some of those bodies. So I made a conscious effort to swallow some pretty extreme anger and just made the radio call for everybody to get back in the car.
Yeah.
Which was, in hindsight, probably a good call.
Yeah, that was probably that colonel came about this close twice in about, what, 10 minutes?
Less than
maybe
10
5 minutes?
Yep.
And I got, nobody ever said anything to my face, but I got so much shit, you know, around the back end for not, yeah, I could have smoked him. I could have put another, you know, I could have put
Another one of them in the dirt.
And I didn't. And, you know, I didn't because, you know, if you know, I was looking at the bigger picture. If I would have done that, I wouldn't be standing here because
they would have tried your ass.
Two of us.
Yep.
You know, there was two of us, and then the guys in the back, you know, which I will say this. If you've ever seen a grown-ass man shit himself, it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your entire life. But that's why we're there, you know. And, yeah, if I would have, you know, dumped him, then all 15 or 12 or however, I mean, it was like 12 to 15.
There's a lot of people there.
You know,
There's a lot
everyone
of might have started shooting all at once.
would have started shooting. Yeah. And I wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be here. You probably wouldn't be here. None of them would be here. And even if we were, it would have been like the biggest international incident within the, you know, probably 5 years time period there
happened in another country.
Since Baghdad.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what was going through my mind. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I did not want anything to do with that. So, you know, by not dumping that dude, I saved my own life.
Yep.
And everybody else's, you know. But anyways, so.
Tough moment. One of the hardest things I ever did was not, oh, son of a bitch, because everything in my body was saying.
Yeah, well, you know, I did get my shoe back.
You did get your shoe back.
I did get my shoe back.
And we did get some really, really sweet vengeance on that motherfucker. And instead of being in jail or dead, we're at Cerakote Nation, and we are cooking and grilling and enjoying some great ass food. We got chicken, we got burgers, we got fucking brats, and we're gonna drink some beer and we're gonna dig on it. And y'all come on back now, you hear?
Do you have any go kebabs?
No. Hey, Shawn, how do you like your burgers, man?
Very well done.